Hello and welcome back to the final flip through, the final journal flip through for last year. So today we're going to be going through the 12 pages in my song and poetry art journal that we did throughout 2025. As you can see, I've now gone in and put the date on the front, which had been missing all year. So let's open it up and start off with January. So the first song for January that I chose was a Kate Bush song called This Woman's Work. And this is one of those songs that resonated with me when it first came out, or back in the day. It was early, back end of the 80s, I believe, back at the beginning of the 1990s. I can't remember the exact date. 1989, look, there you go, it says on the page itself. And it was just one of those things about inner strength for people, not just necessarily about women. It was specifically about women, the song was specific about women, but it could be taken about inner strength about most people, really. And at this moment in time, with what Ian and I are going through, well, mostly Ian is going through at the minute, again, it's another poignant song maybe to listen to again. And the phrase that I took for this one from the song was, I know you have a lot of strength left. You know, it's one of those things where it talks about, you know, inner strength and resilience and weathering the storm and putting up with a load of well, I say abuse, really, because that's really what the song's about. But it is all about that inner strength and knowing that things will get better one day. And since it was a circle journal and it was the first one of the year, I just had to use a kind of circular motif. So we started in the middle and then worked our way out, and then I decorated each of those lines. So that was for January. And that was done in February, believe it or not. So maybe I didn't do one. Oh, maybe I didn't do one in January then. Maybe I created the covers in January and did this for February. Well, there you go. So I think that's probably the way it worked, which means I might actually be one short. Haha. Well, there you go. So the next month, yes, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Three Little Birds. So for this, I use the indigo blue vivid inks to paint and create the birds, just like whimsical birds, and just did a very kind of simplistic kind of art journal page for this month. But again, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1977. Can you believe it? How old would I have been then? 9. So, and the words obviously singing, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. Again, another positive song. So, and we did that beginning of March. So for the next month, it was all about our house in the middle of our street, because Ian and I just moved. We'd literally just moved into the house here in Retford. So this one was a perfect one. And the images were from my Whimsy Houses digi-download set. And of course, I've put the quote, our house in the middle of our street, our house was our castle and our keep. Because this is supposed to be the last house. So this is our forever. We're not going to be moving from here unless anything drastic happens. He says, touching wood quickly. So there we go. And there's obviously a few little flowers and stuff in there too. And that was by a British band here called Madness. And that was released originally in 1982. So that was 1982 was when I just started venturing out into the world, going to the local roller disco, becoming a DJ at the roller disco. Yeah, I worked there for quite a few years, playing the music, DJing, and also looking after people getting the skates and all that kind of thing, which I loved, absolutely loved working there. It was so much fun. Anyway, so on to the next one. That was April the 19th, 2025. Okay, so the next one, which was done in May, again, so a fairly oldish song. So this one written by Ewan MacColl in 1957. Now, Ewan MacColl was a Scottish songwriter that moved to the States. I think he married Peggy Seeger, but also he's the father of Kirsty MacColl. So Kirsty MacColl obviously was a singer too, who tragically died in a boating accident quite a few years ago. But Kirsty is the one that sings on the Fairy Tale of New York Christmas song, as well as many others. But that's the famous kind of like thing that she sang with the Pogues, so the Fairy Tale of New York. But like I said, she was the daughter of Ewan MacColl, and he's the one that wrote that folk song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, I Thought the Sun Rose in Your Eyes. A beautiful song, absolutely stunning, beautiful song. I love it, absolutely love it. Gives me the shivers every time I hear it. And because of that, we just had to use some beautiful gold leaf. Look at that shine. You know, shine's appropriate in some places, and this is one of them. So the main focal point was one of the faces from the Small Faces paper pad, which is currently out of stock. I need to get some more. I need to order some more. Have I got one? I think I've got one left. It might be showing us out of stock on the website. I'm not sure. Shall I check? Let me just have a quick check and I'll see. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second while I quickly just have a look at what's going on. But I think I need to put another order in for these art paper collections. Is it showing it's out of stock? No. Right, okay, so I've got one left in stock, but I do know that it is on obviously limited availability. So the Small Faces paper pad was this one, and you all absolutely loved it. Because it's got male, female, different skin tones. It's, you know, it's a great one for doing art journal pages. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So this one, like I said, I'll get some stock put back on the website. So if anybody wants one of those, it's available. Well, it is still available. It's still available now. But also it's available as a digital download, I think. Let me have a quick look. I'm sure it is. I just want to double make sure that it is. Digital paper sets. Yes. So the Small Faces is also available as a digital download if you're interested or don't want to pay postage and want it instantly, because as soon as you pay for it, you've got it. It's there. You can start printing it within the minute. So that was for May. So The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. Love that song. I really do. I really like the page, actually. Okay, so the next one. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Now, I was... So this is one of those songs from childhood where everybody gets taught, and we all sing this at school, and it's also been used for as a song for a football team here in the UK. And this was written way back in the day in 1918 by James Kending, James Brockman and Nat Vincent. And when you actually look at the lyrics for this song, everybody thinks that I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles is a really happy song because it's all, you know, about things floating in the air and it all being... It's not a happy song at all. When you actually listen to the lyrics or look at the lyrics for this song, it's actually quite a mournful song. It's all about loss. It's all about losing things. It's all about not attaining your dreams. Your dreams blowing bubbles, disappearing and popping and vanishing in the air. That's literally what the song's about. It's not the happy little song that everybody thinks it is, but you should listen to the song properly and listen and look at the lyrics, and you'll see exactly what I mean. But again, it has got all those memories of school and all that kind of thing attached to it. So for me, this is a happy song, and so I've included it in the journal for June, and we did that towards the back end of June, so June the 28th, 2025. So for July, I had to pop in one of my favourite songs of all time. Now, when I very first started venturing out into the internet universe, I started blogging not about paper crafts, not about art, just as a blogger, writing about my life, my experiences. And my very first blog was called Big Yellow Taxi. And I did that for quite some years, met some quite some interesting people through that blog. And then when I started getting into my art or doing more artwork, I kind of drifted away from that. And eventually I ended up closing that blog down. But it is still there. I think it's still there on Blogspot, Blogger. So I think I stopped doing it in about 2016. So well over 10 years, or just about 10 years ago. But it's still there with all sorts of essays and posts and things about life and all that kind of stuff on it. But anyway, so this art journal page was a collage art journal page, a circular art journal collage, done with some elements from some of the paper pads in the background. I think these were from the Masterboards paper pad. This circle certainly was, and this certainly was, and this one at the bottom certainly is. And so is this little piece here. But the taxi and the building and the palm trees are all from a digital collage that I bought from one of these online graphics companies quite a few years ago. And were just perfect for doing this page. And I had to include that phrase, that song line, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Joni Mitchell, 1970. Wow, I was two. But it still remains one of my all-time favourite songs, absolutely. And I absolutely love the little giggle at the end. I love that bit. So that was July, but it was done in August. See, didn't always manage to squeeze them in on the date. Life gets in the way. So did we do 2 for August? We did do 2 for August. There you go, you see. I did July's at the beginning of August and August a bit later on in the year. So again, this one, Justin Hayward, 1978. So this is Forever Autumn. So this is one of those songs from Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds. A stunning, beautiful song. Again, you should listen to it if you don't know it. And for this page, I cut out, using our laser cutter, some of those skeleton leaves and layered those because obviously through autumn's golden gown we used to kick our way. It's referring to all the leaves on the ground and how everybody loves to kind of kick their way through them as they're on the way to the shops or wherever you're going to. Walking through the park, it's one of those fabulous little activities. The dogs love it too. The dogs love running through piles of leaves. So for this one, I layered lots of those leaves. I coloured them using autumnal colours, oranges, reds, a few greens in there as well. And then I splattered with gold luscious powders. Obviously I mixed them with water first to get them to a gold paint, and then just splattered all over those leaves. And again, it just gives that lovely shine in the background. So yeah, so Justin Hayward, 1978. It was later recovered again when they redid the musical version with a new cast not so long ago, and I think it was Gary Barlow from Take That sang the song in that version. But you know, I'm a stickler for tradition, so I prefer the Justin Hayward version. I really do. But there you go. I'm not saying that Gary's is bad. It's just not my version. It's somebody else's. So again, August the 27th, we did that one. So then again, for September, we delved back into my childhood to Sunday or Saturday nights, curled in front of the TV with mum and dad, watching a TV programme called When the Boat Comes In, and it was all about, it was a drama set up in the northeast of England, like Newcastle, Sunderland way, and it was all about the fishermen and the boats and the communities up in the northeast, and we used to watch that religiously. And the song itself, this was the title song for the programme. So when the credits started, this was a song that was sung for that credit. But the song itself was written in 1826, so 100 years ago. Actually, not 200 years ago. What am I talking about? 200 years ago. And it was called Dance to Thy Daddy by William Watson. And just the line, and you shall have a fishy on a little dishy. You shall have a fishy when the boat comes in. There you go. I did a little bit of an accent there too. So yeah, so these fish are collaged, and originally, believe it or not, I've still got the fish that I was going to use for this page. How funny is that? I was only looking at them this morning thinking, yeah, why did I keep those? So I originally did 3 fish like this, and I thought, no, I'll do different ones. So I ended up doing black and white version, and then colouring them in using, I think they're Faber-Castell Pitt pens. Seems to ring a bell. And then just to make it look like a plate, I've done those 3 lines all the way around the outside, just to make it look as though I've got 3 little fishes on the plate. And I've just added a little drop shadow effect under the fish, just to give them that little bit of a pop, a little bit of 3D. So if I'd have had some glossy accents, I would have put some glossy accents maybe on the fish eyes. But Ian's stolen all my glossy accents, so I don't have any anymore. And that was done in September. Oh, back end of September as well, look. September the 30th, 2025. Wow. All right, so the next one. So September, we had to go into October, didn't we? So October the 22nd, this one was done. So, and of course, Halloweeny. And we had to go with Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller. So in 1984. Now, he didn't actually write it. It was actually written by a British songwriter. But obviously it was taken up by Michael Jackson. Changed as it does happen, and I can't remember for the life of me why I didn't write the name of the real author on there. Weird, but there you go. So this background was created just by using some acrylic paint, just backwards and forwards to create that kind of sunset, that red sunset effect in the background. There's black mark making as well in there, and then the silhouette of the cemetery with the gravestones and the tree is all one piece that I cut on the laser cutter using some black cardstock, and I also did a couple of black bats. Now I think those black bats are actually a punch. They're a Stampin' Up punch, I think. Let's see if I can. I've got mine. There. Is it that one? No, haha. It's a different one. So that's a different punch. That looks different. I didn't think so. With black cardstock, I can just do a. Yeah, it's definitely a different punch. It's a different bat altogether. Look, it's actually bigger. So this must have been from my bats collection that I did when I released a load of stuff for the Carte Noire. Let's have a quick look on the website. Oh yeah, mini bats art shapes. There we go. No, they're not. They're different bats. They're a different bat altogether. Look at that. So where did these come from then? Not from the haunted houses. This must have been a different shape I've got, because all those bats in the mini bats art shapes are a lot different to these ones. So, right, okay. These must have been, I think I might have actually put these on this set, because this I'm going to release next year, or this year, for Halloween, as part of the Halloween collection with Carte Noire for this year. I didn't get a chance to do it last year because I did quite a few last year. How many did I do last year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 8 Halloween Carte Noire sets last year, so I thought that was enough. I'll keep some back for this year. There's still a few others to do that I've already got ready to go. There's little monster, like non-threatening monsters, cute monsters. There's this one and a few others too. But yeah, so darkness falls across the land, the midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorise your neighbourhood. Love it. And of course, just in the background, we have the moon, which is a photograph cut out, printed and cut out and just stuck on of the actual real moon, and then just splattered to the heck out of it with white splatters, because you've got to, haven't you? You've got to do the splatters. Absolutely. Love that page. I really enjoyed doing that one. But then again, I love doing Halloween anyway. So, for November, it was actually the first page, or the only page for last year, that I actually did do a piece of poetry. So again, the background page is from the masterboards paper pad. Again, I do the masterboards as a digi-download as well as a paper. I know there's none of these in stock at the moment. Yes, I did do. I haven't got any of the physical paper pads in at the moment. They're on my order list for this year. So I will get them back in again, but the masterboard is available as a digital download currently, which obviously is in stock all the time. So for this one, and I picked it because it was kind of blue, and there was quite a lot of circular kind of motifs in the background, so it did look a little bit like bubbles. So, and there's a pair of hands reaching out, and the poem was called Not Waving But Drowning, and it was written in 1972 by a lady called Stevie Smith. Now, Stevie Smith was born in Hull, the same place I was born and I was brought up. And I believe there is some family connection, but I'm not really sure what. I know there is some kind of family connection. She may be a distant cousin, great second cousin twice removed or something like that. But there is a family connection between us and Stevie Smith. And the poem, nobody heard him, the dead man, but still he lay moaning. I was much further out than you thought, and not waving, but drowning. Poor chap, he always loved larking, and now he's dead. It must have been too cold for him, for him. His heart gave way, they said. Oh, no, it was too cold always. Still the dead one lay moaning. I was much too far out all my life, not waving, but drowning. So again, this is all about feeling through the entirety of your life as though you're out of your depth. Imposter syndrome, I think, as well, some people call it. And people just thinking, that you're just getting on with it. You're waving, but not drowning. So, yeah, it's always one of those things. You just don't know what people are feeling. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. And even though they look like they're waving, they might not be. So, make those connections, because you just don't know, do you? So, Stevie Smith, 1972. And that was done on the 14th of November. So there we go. And then finally, for December. Yeah, I did that deliberately. December, Deck the Halls. So, a traditional Christmas carol written by Thomas Oliphant, but used the music for Deck the Halls is a much older piece of music. Thomas Oliphant wrote the words for Deck the Halls much later, the music being very, very, very much older than that. So for the background for Deck the Halls, I used the abstract paper pad. I'm just trying to remember what exactly it's called. Abstraction Attraction. There you go. Couldn't remember for a second. Which is just a pure black and white paper pad. Just grab one and I'll show you. So all of the pages in this are mostly, there's a few little bits of colour in some of them, but they're all black and white, and they're all abstract geometric shaped papers. And what I did was I just cut the circle out of one of them, and then I coloured in sections. And you can use that to tone in whatever project or whatever colours that you want in your art journal page. The Deck the Halls is a rubber stamp. It was a Christmas rubber stamp that I released 2 years ago through Indigo Blue. And are they on my website? Did I eventually put them on? I did put them on. Yeah, I did put them on. Yeah, so the rubber stamps themselves are available on the website still. And I love them because I've got those like little stitching things. And then once I'd got all that down, I went in with a white Posca pen and gold Posca pens, and I added in all this additional Zentangly mark making, and I'm not really sure which ones I did do and which ones I didn't do because there's so many of them. All these white ones I added for definite, and there's gold over the top, but I might have actually gone in and done some black ones. I put some black ones in there too, so you just can't tell. You really can't tell. So that was for December, and that is why at the end of the year there was one left. There was one left because I didn't actually do one for January. So what I will do is I will take that page out for there, and what I will do is I will add it to the 2026 art journal, because I'm definitely going to be doing these again this year. I just need to set up the journal first of all. I've got to wait for some wood to arrive because I've run out of the right thickness for the covers, and I will definitely create a new journal for 2026, and I will add this one in, and this will be January 2026's page. So there we go. That is my song and poetry art journal, circular art journal for 2025. And like I said, I will definitely be carrying on doing it again this year. Not I keep saying next year. It's this year now, isn't it? So there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me do this flip through in the circle journal. If you have, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.